Replacement animation explanation. Okay, I think replacement animation can be very easy to understand. In animation, specifically in cutout animation, you don't animate the hand with moving fingers. You just switch the hand from one position to another. This is what shows like Total Drama Island do. If you haven't watched those cartoons, check them and pay attention to the facial expressions, the lip sync, and the hands. Specifically the hands. That is replacement animation happening before your very eyes. For replacement animation, what you need to do is draw multiple hands, multiple feet, multiple mouths, and multiple eyes. Fortunately for you, I already did all of that, and now we will only trace each one here in the course. Now, a quick review of an earlier lesson. How many hands or how many mouths do you need for your character? Remember, you answer that with a storyboard. It depends on the number of hands you needed for your character to express all the emotions in the storyboard. That is what determines how many hands you need to draw. Okay, so let me show you once again how does the replacement animation works in a fully rigged character inside After Effects. Because I took the time to trace each hand, I can now easily switch between them in a split of a second, very easily. And also, I can just as easily change to the different mouths when I do the lip sync. This is replacement animation. One drawing replaces the last one. This is also known as switch animation. So, in the following lessons, we will be tracing all the different options for our basic rig of the character Brad. Starting from the next lesson, we will trace the different hands. Okay, see you there. Creating the hands. Okay, so let's jump right in. The first thing I need to do for drawing the multiple hands is I need to import the sketch for the hands. I need a new layer for this, and I will put it just above the sketch. Select the sketch layer and create a new one. I'll name it Hand Sketch and have it blue. You can have it on any color you like, I just like blue. Once you have the hand sketch layer selected, it is time to import. That's easy, just go to the projects folder and open the folder that says Character Design Sketches. And from there, select the file that says Brad Hands and drag it into the workspace of the project. Now just move them to a convenient place. Anywhere works fine, there is good. Now create a new layer called Left Hand 1. And that magenta color is okay. And as I like to do, lock all layers except for the one I will be working on. I pick the pencil by pressing letter N, and I select No Fill, Black Stroke, and 2 points. And just try very quickly in fast forward to draw the hand. And that's hand 1. Now, hand number 2 in a new layer. Left hand 2 and blue. Lock the previous layer so I don't mess with it and draw the next. There, those are in 2 different layers. Now the next. New layer, left hand 3 and magenta is okay. Lock the last layer and I'm good to go. And fast forward for the drawing. There. 3 hands, 1 on each layer. Now before I move into coloring, I need to have each with their correct circle joint. That can be taken from the left forearm. Select Unlock and Expand. Duplicate the skin-colored circle, dragging it to the new layer icon. And in the Layers panel, I will drag the circle into the hand 3 layer. And with the black arrow tool, I will move each to approximately their position. Whoops, see that? I moved one circle, but it was the circle on the forearm and not the duplicate I made. So let me lock the forearm so I don't mess with it. That's why I like to lock layers. And now I can position that circle in the correct position of hand 3. And that's it for hand 3. Let me collapse that layer and let's unlock layers hand 2 and hand 1. And you know what? Let's make 2 duplicates of this circle, one for each. And now I just put every circle roughly into the wrist of each hand. I will expand the hand 1 layer and we'll move the appropriate circle to its proper place. Is it this the correct one on the workspace? You can tell thanks to the little square and the selection on the workspace. Yes, that object in the layers panel belongs to hand 1. So take that layer and drag it to the hand 1 layer. Then collapse hand 1 layer and I select the next circle from the workspace. Expand hand 2 layer. Then select that layer from the layers panel and drag it to the hand 2 layer. Now back to hand 1. With the black arrow, I put the circle in place. I have to move things a bit to make the circle fit perfectly. Now make sure that the circle joint is not on the top part of the hand. It has to be in the exact part of the wrist, okay? Here. Okay, what else? Oh, we need the hand to be a closed shape. Careful, otherwise you won't be able to paint it. So, for that, I will select the pencil tool, pressing letter N. Then I control click on an empty space. This is important. And then I make sure I have the correct settings. No fill, black stroke, and 2 points. Then just draw a quick line. Yeah, that's it. That's all there is to it. And press Ctrl-Shift open bracket to send it to the bottom. Now I will clean up this drawing, hand 1, refine the lines and paint it, the whole drill, and then I will move on to the next hand and so on, okay? I just lock everything to not mess with anything besides the layer I'm working on. Ctrl-A to select all paths. Then as you can see, I can't edit the width profile. Why? Well, that's because we have the circle selected. So to deselect something, I will Ctrl-Shift-click on it to deselect it. And now with that out of the way, I can now proceed changing the width of the lines. Make it variable. Then Object Menu, Expand Appearance. Then Object Menu, Path, Simplify 97%. Now this is our chance to change the color from black to the outline of the skin color. With everything selected, I just go to the swatches panel and pick the dark skin color for the outline. Now, let's clean the line. Select all, including the circle, pressing Ctrl-A, then Ctrl-Alt-X to make live paint and expand. There, let me hide the sketch to make the cleaning process easier. And now, just use the white arrow tool to clean it. I will fast forward because I bet you're a goddamn genius like Forrest Gump. There, select all, pressing Ctrl-A, and make it live paint again, pressing Ctrl-Alt-X. And with the bucket tool, pressing K on the keyboard, I painted with the skin color. There we go. Now I will skip this part and move on to when I have all the 3 hands ready. If you have any doubts, just rewind this video to where I go through the process in this hand and just follow these steps on each hand, okay? There, I have the 3 hands. Now, it's time to put each layer in place. I will unlock each hand, and what I like to do is this. Let's start with the 3rd hand. I like to drag it, and while I'm dragging, without releasing the mouse, I like to align both circles. That way, you have a perfect joint attachment, okay? Perfect. Now, hide that layer, clicking on the little eye icon in the Layers panel, and do the same with the other two. Just select them, move them, hide them. Select, move, and there we go. Now show the three hands, and we are set. Let me change the order in the Layers panel, putting the one on the top and the third at the bottom. Hey, look at that. It looks like an alien hand. Ugh, creepy. Now put all those hands on top of the left arm layer. There. Now it's just a matter of duplicating and renaming to make the right side. I will skip that, and there, we are ready. One thing I did is I just mirrored them, like I have done in previous lessons. Let's hide the other hands and see how this guy looks like. Good, I can easily change each hand. Now I'm ready for the replacement animation. See? These can be animated. Nice. Now let's move to the next lesson, in which we will create the feet. See you there. Now let's work with the feet. We will basically do what we did on the last lesson. Import the feet drawing, trace each one on a separate layer, but with one subtle difference. We won't use joint circles thanks to his pants. So, let's jump right in. I create a new layer below the pants, and for that I select the lower torso layer and click on the new layer icon. Double click on it and rename it. Foot sketch, then magenta is okay, and press OK. Open the folder with the files, then with that layer selected, import the sketch image called Bradfoot by dragging from the Sketches folder into the workspace. Now, lock this layer and create a new one called Left Foot 1, and I'll pick the color blue to see it better. And with a pencil, I press letter N. I set it up with no fill, black stroke, and 2 points. I start drawing the first one. In fast forward. There. New layer called Left Foot 2, and lock the last layer. And draw the foot really quick. Again, in fast forward. Sometimes I have a hard time getting the lines correctly, but it's okay. There. And a third layer called Left Foot 3, blue color. Lock the last layer and go on. And there. 3 feet. Now, just clean up each one and color it. I will color them black. And I will start with this last one because I already have everything set up. I Ctrl A to select everything. It select only this foot because all the other layers are locked. Then variable width, object menu, expand appearance, and object menu, path, simplify at 97%. Ctrl Alt X to make live paint and expand. Quick cleanup with the white arrow. And now select all, pressing Ctrl A, then Ctrl Alt X to make it live paint again. Then I press K to pick the bucket tool and paint it black. Lock this layer, foot 3, and lock the foot number 2. I will skip this part, so I will just pause the recording, finish off the other 2, and then continue, okay? If you have any doubts, remember, just rewind this video and follow the same procedure I used with foot number 3. There. The feet are ready for the left side. Now unlock the 3 of them and position each one with the black arrow. Just try to have each as correctly as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's a good idea to have them as good as you possibly can. There. Now let's duplicate the 3 of them and make the right side. Select the 3 layers and drag them to the new layer icon. And rename each one. and rename each one. And right foot 3, right foot 3, right foot 2, right foot 2, right foot 2, right foot 1. And now I want to reorder them really quick. Numbers 1 on the top and the numbers 3 on the bottom of each group. Now take the right feet and drag them just below the right thigh. And now let me lock the left side and put the right side in the correct position. Select all of them by pressing Alt-click and holding Shift on each of them to select them on the workspace, not only here on the Layers panel, but also on the workspace. And with all of them selected in the workspace, you go to Object, Transform, Reflect. Make it vertical and press OK. Drag them to put them in position holding Shift to constrain the movement, and we're done! No circle joints this time. I just want to hide some of the feet and I'll only show one version at a time. Look, now I can make him feel a bit insecure, something we learned from Sydney on her body language course here on 2D Animation 101. But let us just let him be confident. Great, now I lock every layer. And now I'm ready to move to the next lesson where we will create the different mouths required for a lip sync. See you there. Okay, we have our character almost complete, but now it only needs a face, right? Just a little tiny bit and we're done. Well, just the face is about 30% of the work because you have to draw multiple mouths for when your character is happy, multiple mouths for when your character is sad or upset, okay? In this lesson, we will only cover the 10 different phonemes in this happy version. So let's jump right in. I will create a new layer over the head, call it as Mouth Sketch, Mouth, and with that layer selected, from the Sketches folder, I will drag to the workspace. Now, this is a long process, so I will cover only one mouth, and then I will skip to when I have all the other mouths ready. Let me make these mouths a bit transparent, about 40%. And now, lock the layer, create a new one, call it Mouth AI, which is the sound of the phoneme, and I'll make it blue. Now with the pencil, I set it with no fill, black stroke, and 1 point instead of 2. We will use 1 point. I will draw the first mouth in fast forward just to show you this step. Okay, there. Let me change the color of the mouth, and we will need a couple of new colors on the swatches panel. One for the inside of the mouth, because right now I'm working with the stroke. I press X to show the stroke color, okay? And now pick a color for the inside of the mouth. I will put it after the skin color. And now we will use the third gray for the outline of the teeth, the white for the color of the teeth, and for the outline of the tongue, I will use the red of the shirt. And for the tongue, we will pick a more whiter red. There we go. Now let's color the strokes real quick. I do this in fast forward. There. But just one thing, the tongue and the teeth need to be below the lips. So select them and press Ctrl-Shift open bracket to send them to the back. Remember, you can also do the same if you go to Object Menu, Arrange, and Send to Back. There. Now let's clean it up. Ctrl-A to select everything, then Variable Width, Object Menu, Expand Appearance, and then Object Menu, Path, Simplify Curve at 97%. Ctrl-Alt-X to make Live Paint and Expand. Now, clean with the white arrow. a little bit fast forward here and let me hide the sketch. And there. Now let me change the color of the teeth real quick. Select the outline with the white arrow. Then pick the eyedropper tool, pressing letter I, and click on the teeth outline to get that color. There. Now the little intersection. I will fast forward and do the exact same thing. There. Now select everything pressing Ctrl A. Then Ctrl Alt X to make live paint again and color each part with the bucket tool. I like to use the shortcut K to pick it. There. Okay, that's the first mouth. Now, I will create each mouth on a separate layer with the name of the phoneme. I will pause this video and show it once I have finished with the mouths. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we have all the mouths. Let me hide the sketch. And there. Okay, time to put them in place. It's a good idea to have every mouth grouped so you don't accidentally pick only one part of the mouth like so. Nope, we don't want that. Let me undo. So I will select each mouth by dragging a selection over each one and press Ctrl G to group the paths, okay? Or go to Object and pick Group. Now, as you can see, this layer has everything inside a group. Okay, now I will do that same thing for every mouth. I will turn each mouth into a group. Let me fast forward this. There, every mouth is grouped. Now, the first one to be positioned will be the closed mouth. Let me bring up the sketch and I will hide the head and the upper torso. And then on the layers panel, go all the way down to show the sketch. Okay, this is where I will put the closed mouth, but maybe a bit above it because the open mouths have to have some space. Now, let me hide the sketch layer and show the head and upper torso. Now let's place each mouth on that position, trying to be on the same smile position. Okay, let me hide the closed mouth called mouth rest and put the next mouth there. I will click and drag and try to have the upper lips aligned. About there. And do that with the rest of the mouths. Each mouth trying to be aligned with the upper lip. All mouths should be side by side, upper lip to upper lip. There, let me show the resting mouth. There, I will only leave the rest mouth. Okay, this character is ready to do some lip sync using replacement animation. Happy lip sync, that is. If I wanted to show more emotions, then I need another series of mouth for the offset version, okay? How many mouths do you need? Well, as discussed earlier, it all depends on the storyboard. But basically, you need a happy version and an offset version. And if you wanted to make it scream, you just play with the scale of the mouth, okay? You make it bigger, you make it smaller, and so on. But anyway, make sure you are working with a storyboard so you don't miss mouths, or make sure you don't draw too many of them. Okay, now in the next lesson, we will take care of the eyes. See you there. Okay, we have our character almost done. We just need to finish the face and we're all set. Let's jump right into creating the eyes. I select the top layer, mouth WQ, and create a new layer on top of it called Eyes Sketch. And now import the Eyes Sketch from the Sketches folder. I will make this layer with about 40% opacity. Whoops! Oh, nothing happened. Oh! You have to Alt-click on the layer to select the eyes. Make sure you have the little square indicator that tells you that all objects of that layer are selected in the workspace. Okay, and now let's set it at 40%. Maybe 30. Yeah, 30 works for me. I lock that layer, and because I need each eye on a separate layer, I will start with the left relaxed eye. I pick the pencil tool, pressing N with no fill, and instead of black stroke, I will choose a very dark gray with 1 point for the width. Oops, I didn't create the new layer, so let's make it a new layer called left eye relax and colored blue. This one is super easy to draw very quickly. There. Next step, cleaning. Control A to select all, then variable width, object menu, expand appearance, object menu, path, simplify 97%. Control Alt X to make live paint and expand. Then clean this very simple shape with the arrow tool, the white arrow tool. Control Alt X to make it live paint, press K to pick the bucket tool and paint it. I want to expand it again, and now let's duplicate it to have it as a right relaxed eye. Just drag it to the new layer icon and that duplicates it. Rename it as right eye relax and click on the layer right eye and move it to the right side position using the black arrow tool. Once there, I can flip it vertically using the reflect feature. Now let's put it in place. There. Looks a bit sad, but with the smile, this guy will look relaxed and confident. Now, I will pause the video and continue once I have each eye on a different layer, okay? Okay, see you in a moment. Okay, there. We have the 5 eyes. Notice that I have the head hidden and the sketch showing. This is because that will make it easier to put each pair of eyes into position. Okay? So I just move them in pairs because I think it's a lot easier and faster than doing it one by one. Okay, there. That looks super weird and creepy. Let's hide the sketch, show the head, and show only one pair of eyes, the relaxed version, hiding all the others. Good. I feel both the mouth and the eyes are a bit to the right of the face, so I will show all the eyes and all the mouths and unlock them to move all the face a bit to the left. There. Now the face is centered. Let me hide all the eyes, just leaving the relaxed version, and all the mouths, and just leave the closed mouth. Good. Now we almost have this character complete. Now I only need the eyebrows and the nose, and we will be done. Those will be covered in the next lesson. See you there. Creating the eyebrows and nose. Okay, let's jump right in. I will create a new layer called left eyebrow. Now, I need to find the head layer in the layers panel and hide it and show the sketch. Okay, I have all the layers locked. Yes. Now, I will create a rectangle. I'll pick the rectangle tool. The fill will be the yellow of the hair, and the stroke will be the darker yellow of the hair also. 1 point is okay. I have the left eyebrow selected, and here we go. And very quickly, with the white arrow tool, I just click on just 1 point, making sure only that point is selected and not the others. Just 1 point, and now I can move them around until I have the shape of the eyebrow. Now just duplicate this layer by dragging it to the new layer icon and rename it right eyebrow. I'll click on the right eyebrow layer to select its contents on the workspace and move it to a side with the black arrow tool. Wait, just make sure you have the correct one. I check the layers panel, and yes, that's the right eyebrow. Now go to Object menu, Transform, Reflect, and have the vertical axis. Perfect. Now just put it in place. Okay, let me hide the sketch and show the head layer. Good, let me just place them correctly. And now we only need one last thing, the nose, and we're done. I have the right eyebrow selected, and I create a new layer called Nose. Colored blue. And let me lock the eyebrows so I don't mess with those. Hide the head layer and show the sketch. Actually, I also have to hide the upper torso so the neck lets me see the nose. Yeah, perfect. This one is a super easy one. With the nose selected and the pencil tool, I select no fill and the dark stroke we used for the lips. And 1 point is fine. I will draw the nose very quickly. Okay, now select all, make variable width, Object menu, expand appearance, and Object menu, path, simplify at 97%. I have the nose ready. No need to paint, no need for anything else. Oh wait, I do need to do some cleanup. Make live paint with Ctrl-Alt-X and expand. Quick cleaning and we are done! Let's hide the sketch and show the head and upper torso layers. There we go! We have our character ready! Nice job! This is time for celebration! If you like sushi, go and buy some sushi to celebrate this great achievement! Or if you like burgers or pizza, then you know what to do! Go and get some sushi to celebrate! Yeah, to hell with burgers or pizza. Right on! Now in the next lesson, we will see how to export this character so you can use it in After Effects or Toon Boom, Anime Studio, Moho Pro, or whatever animation software you like. Okay, see you in the next lesson. Okay, finally, we got our character finished. Now it's time to export it. In reality, we don't need to export anything because if you're using Illustrator, it's because you probably want your character in After Effects. But either way, we need to prepare this file so we can import it in After Effects with no problems. The first thing I want to do is unlock all layers. Yep, this character is going to be very exposed, so be careful. I will try to be careful and not move things around accidentally. Okay, we got a lot of layers there. Now, the next thing is I want to delete the sketches because we don't need them anymore. Let's do that. I select the sketch layer, the hand layer, the foot sketch, and drag them to the trash can to delete them. Then the mouth sketch, eyes sketch, to the trash can. That's about it, I think. Let me scroll a bit. Yeah, that's it. Now this file is ready to be exported. If you're going to prepare this character for animation inside After Effects, then you don't need to export it. You don't need to do a thing. Just open a new composition in After Effects and import this Illustrator file. And that's it. But if you need to export it to use it in Anime Studio Pro or Moho Pro or Toon Boom, you have to save your project as Illustrator 8 file. Here is how. Just go to File and Save As. I will name the file Brat Front View AI 8. And then from the Illustrator options, just change the version from Illustrator Creative Cloud to Illustrator 8. Press OK, and we are all set. And now Again, I must repeat this. If you want to use this character inside After Effects, you don't need to export anything. Just import this Illustrator file directly into After Effects. And another note is that if you want to use this character on Moho or its previous versions, Anime Studio or Toon Boom, then I recommend not designing your characters in Illustrator, but doing all this process of tracing the character inside that animation software. Okay? But anyway, in case you want to, now you know how. Okay, congratulations! You have now learned how to prepare a character in Illustrator and have it ready for animation in After Effects. In the next lesson, we will see some options of what you can do next now that you have finished this course. Okay, so this is a little tutorial on how to create those pinpoints, the joints. That is created under this layer, the joints. All I did, let me hide it. I'm gonna click on the eye to hide those joints. And all I did was create a new layer, name it joints. And then I used the line tool. That's it. I have the line on one point and color black and nothing for the fill. Black stroke. This is black stroke. Okay. So I just click and drag holding shift and then click and drag holding shift. Okay. Now I can select both. I think I'm gonna make them, 2 points is better. And kind of center them. Now, here's something I do. If I have the black arrow key, so the selection tool, I just control click on that circle and then, check this out. While this is selected, I click and drag this and it snaps to the center, you see? To the center of that circle. I release and that's it. And then I select that circle again, click and drag, and it will snap to that center. Roger? And then all I did was select these two shapes, duplicate, control copy, control V, control Z, then control V to copy and paste, and do the same. Put it here, then find this circle and let it snap to the center. And that's it. This didn't snap to the center. Now maybe it's not snapping, so make sure you have, if you go to view menu, make sure you have snap to point function, this function right here. Okay, and that's it. And I did that with every single joint. Okay.